Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the Woodridge Parents Podcast, episode number 19. Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
Wow. We're going to keep that in. Jeez. I just choked on myself. Pause. Hi. What's up? Episode number 19. My name is Daniel Staley. This is my beautiful and lovely wife, Kelly.
Hello.
We just recently got home from 2 exciting Little League baseball games today.
Yes.
Exciting. But they went well. Johnny had his T-ball game this morning.
His first one.
He had some hits.
He did.
They all played okay in the field.
They did.
A little bunched up for my take, Mr. Skolko, Coach Skolko, but we can run his own strategy. But I'm a big strategist of keeping the kids completely separate. And once one kid makes a play, that kid gets cycled out, and so on and so forth. Other coaches have the idea of just bunching them all together, so they just tackle each other and punch each other in the face. So that's good. Then we had our instructional game. We don't keep score in that, but we did really good. Had some really good hits.
He did.
A couple doubles.
Yeah.
Carter went for a triple when he wasn't really supposed to, but he would have ran all the way home.
He was going.
He's booking it though. Kid moves.
He's fast.
He plays well.
He's really fast. Yeah.
He plays well, so that's good.
He has that baseball look. Definitely has that baseball look.
He needs to play football.
I think he is.
Good. I hope so. Speaking of football, I guess our first topic will go into Coach Cutrona, the ex-coach from Woodridge. Probably the best individual record any coach in Woodridge has ever had. And he had resigned, I guess, in early March, or if not before that. And his reason was that he wanted to spend more time with his kids. They live in Saddlebrook. His kids play football at Saddlebrook. I think he was helping coach the Pop Warner in Saddlebrook too. So he would come to Woodridge and coach and then leave and go to Saddlebrook. It was tough, which I get. That seemed to be his main reason for leaving.
Okay. So he lives in Saddlebrook, coaches in Woodridge. Okay. All right. Continue.
I had heard some things about some parents who basically ran him off.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there are some parents here who are kind of clowns. But anywho, we don't have to necessarily go into specifics of those. But we come to find out that Coach Quattrona, I don't know. That sounds like some Guinea thing.
Watch it.
Kelly is Italian, though, so I can say that, even though she doesn't look at all Italian. But she is.
I am.
50% Italian.
I am 50% Italian.
We'll get the DNA test for that.
Okay.
23andMe just went under, I think. So I think all that DNA records are up for sale to the Chinese now.
Oh, jeez.
So Coach Cutrona has signed to be the head football coach in Saddlebrook.
I mean, that does save a lot of time, honestly.
Sure.
Hometown.
Sure.
It is closer to, he won't be on the road all that time, going back and forth. So, that is saving time.
Saddlebrook's about 10 minutes from here, but
I know, but still, with traffic and everything, and when you're home, it's different.
Yeah, it's a little off-putting that, he left and said he wasn't going to go anywhere else, and then a month later did. Now, I don't know if that position was open. Yeah. I think the previous coach at Saddlebrook had got run off as well by parents. Saddlebrook generally had been a decent football school for quite some time. They haven't really been very good in any sort of athletics in forever. But it's just a continuance of parents interfering and getting good coaches fired.
Yeah.
I don't really get it. God bless Coach Cutrona. I hope he does well in Saddlebrook. He was very popular here, apparently with many people, but then I don't know.
Does Woodridge play Saddlebrook, or no? Are they in different leagues?
I'm not sure, because I think Saddlebrook, they have a league for teams who don't think they're going to be competitive in their own league. So they all kind of play in one league.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Now, I don't think if they join that league, I don't think they're allowed to go to the States.
Well, that would make a lot of
Which,
sense.
if they played in the other league, it
Yeah.
wouldn't really matter anyway because they
Yeah.
wouldn't have been good enough to make it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I think they're in that division. I don't believe that they play, but it is just unfortunate, how that has
Yeah.
gone. We have Coach Carbone in now. I haven't met him yet. I probably should try to reach out to him, get a little chatty chat, and maybe get him on the pod. We're going to start doing guests soon.
Mm-hmm.
We have to set that up with Microsoft Teams and the remote connections in here. It's a little bit more technical, but I think we'll be able to pull it off. But good luck to Coach Cotrona and Coach Carbone.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully some of the parents who still have kids left, hopefully those kids graduate and those people will move on.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Woodridge High School, it came out that we have some pretty terrible scores in the region. They were like read in the presentation on northjersey.com. And it's crazy too, because the Doyle School and the intermediate school have great numbers. I think 80, 90% or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't know what these like actual percentage numbers mean, but like Woodridge High School was like 7%.
Yeah.
Is that proficiency? Like
I didn't actually see the actual like numbers. Obviously every year they are tested in both math and language arts. Testing usually starts in grade 3 and up.
well, this is just a high school.
No, I understand that, but usually it's tested the same time of year.
Right. But
Yeah. So, I mean, it depends on the program that they're offering. It depends on a lot of things, like going to the test scores. Some parents can opt out their child to take those tests also. So
yeah, but if they opt out, that can't lower the score. That's an opt out. That's like a 0.
Yeah, I'm not really 100% sure on that. I would be lying if I said for a fact. But that also takes into consideration, children that are in self-contained classes. So I know that one of my friends is actually testing their children,
Right, but why do you think
that.
Woodridge in specific would be so much lower than the surrounding schools?
It depends on how many new programs they have, come into the district, how many professional developments they've been doing with the teachers. A lot of things,
I don't really understand that.
Okay, so if there are programs that haven't been, revamped or new programs brought in to their curriculum, that could also take a toll on test scores.
So you're saying they're teaching stuff that's not relevant to the test?
Again, it depends on the programs that they're using. I don't really know the programs that they're using at the high school level, so I really can't put an exact...
Right, but what possibilities could there be for those scores to be low?
Depends on the children. Depends on the children taking them. You will have years where...
Could it not depend on the teachers?
Well, I was saying...
As a teacher, I don't believe the teachers ever do anything wrong.
No, I'm saying that it depends on a lot with the students. You can teach students the material. It depends if they're paying attention. It depends on if
So there's just a bunch of dummies in the high school?
It depends on a lot of factors.
I spoke to one very high-level education professional who lives in town here, but he works at a different school.
Public or private?
Public, but a very high-end school north of here. He had said a couple claims, which kind of makes sense. Apparently Woodridge doesn't pay the teachers very well. And that's been an issue for quite some time, and apparently leads us to not get the best talent available. So that is one thing that they mentioned. Again, it does fall on the kids and it does fall on the parents, but this like significant drop in numbers is, like they're talking about making it an Abbott district.
Now, my question is, did it just drop currently, or has it been dropping over the past couple years? That's my question, because that does have a lot to do with it also. That
I'm not sure, but it's like a significant drop. So that I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless, really, we need to these scores are terrible.
Well, I mean, if it just dropped recently within the past couple of years, you can actually pinpoint like what has been going on. If it's been a consecutive downfall over the past maybe like 5 to 10 years, then it could just be like curriculum based also. You know what I mean?
Okay,
That they
so
have
here's the score I got. So the summative rating of Woodridge Junior Senior High School, 7.69. The intermediate school, 83.88.
Yeah.
Summative score, 26.97.
Here's my question too, though. See, I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% on this either, but I know there's a lot more children in the intermediate school than obviously the high school. Correct?
Hasbrouck Heights High School. Mm-hmm. They have a bit more people.
Yeah.
Comparable school, 75.07. 10 times better.
Yeah.
And don't even get into actual good schools. Yeah. I don't even want to say this school because it's going to kind of blow up the other person's spot. But the other school that this person is involved with is a 90.03. And one of their elementary schools is a 96.99. Woodridge High School is 7.
Yeah, that's crazy.
7.
Yeah.
Hasbrouck Heights, 75.07. Middle school, 49. Not great. Euclid Elementary and Lincoln Elementary. They have 2 elementary schools in Heights.
Oh, you have 2 in Heights?
Yeah, Euclid and Lincoln.
Okay.
97.9 and 89.54. Now, Woodridge Intermediate School, 83.88.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
something's
it's not,
happening.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. And, yeah, I mean, now they have a lot of these programs with the academy now that you can send your kid to one of the academy schools. You can go to the academy in Hackensack. You can go to, I think, Old Tapan. He can go to Northern Valley Demarest and a couple other schools. So I don't know if that's affecting it now too, where it's not just like the sports kids going to these different schools. Now the really smart kids are going to different schools.
Yeah. Well, that can be, yeah.
I mean, it's not, it doesn't really make me want to send Danny and Johnny to Woodridge. I'm apparently Mr. Woodridge, but it's.
Well, you have to do what's best for your child. So don't have to worry about everything else.
Our kids can't save the day.
No.
But I don't know, dude, because I like a lot of the people who are in positions here, but the numbers are the numbers.
Yeah, I've never really heard of a school being that low. Like,
not without getting taken over.
No, yeah. And I mean, like, what is the population? Like, how many kids are actually in the high school now?
I don't know. Probably not that many, less than 500.
Because I mean, like, okay.
But that shouldn't have anything to do with it. Because it's an average.
Yeah.
Now, we have which is funny, maybe all the kids from Westmont will come in and they're all going to be smarter and then we'll raise the scores. So the Westmont people actually come in and save the town when all the other schleps have been kind of
it's going to be interesting once the intermediate children that have those good test scores on the move up into the high school and see if things change or not. But again, if certain children are going to different high schools, then again, you're going to be seeing the same. So really with that, only time can tell. And I know that, a lot has to do with curriculum, like if it's been improved upon, if different methods are being taken place, a lot of things happen like to improve those scores. And with Doyle getting all this new technology and everything, it's interesting to see like what will happen in years to come, And again, like
that's the thing though, like if Doyle and the intermediate school get all this funding and technology and then they go to the high school and it's less technology than they had in middle school, like
it's kind of moving backwards. And so depending on how much funding will be happening soon with the high school, I mean, everything, as you said, everything's happening with the with like Doyle, which is great, but things have to be happening with the high schoolers too. But,
I mean, I don't know the numbers and the education budget in town, the Board of Ed budget, but I mean, if they can't get solid talent, then I don't know. Do we have to raise the taxes or something like that, which is not great, but what are the options here?
I don't know. I mean, you're never really going to see like how well a teacher performs like during an interview. You know what I mean? They can be the best interviewer, and
guess.
and again, it depends on the group of kids you have.
But if people consistently keep picking not great teachers, whose fault is that?
Beats me. I'm not in the administration.
Oh yes, Kelly, but you are an education professional.
I am, and sometimes you have classes that are extremely bright and you can go above and beyond, and sometimes you have classes that need the basic extra help. I mean, teachers can't pick their
like
students
overall
either.
Classes, like the whole classes.
Sometimes you have a group of kids that need more basic help than. Sometimes you have kids that just like know what they're doing, and you can kind of advance them and do everything like that. But sometimes you have a group of kids that need the extra help, and you can't go really above and beyond when you need to focus on the basics. And again. One teacher might have a group of geniuses where you can go above and beyond and, go on to the harder material with more of the, comparing back and forth and stuff like that. And then you might have a group of kids that just aren't getting it. I mean, it happens where you can teach the same subject every single day and you'll still have a few kids just not getting it. That's just overall.
Now the special needs kids, like, do they take the same tests? Like, is this?
I know they get tested. And they get trials with everything with what they're doing, but I'm not really sure if they take the same level of testing. So I mean, like, let's say you have a fourth grade student, right, who's in self-contained, but he or she is really performing at like a second grade level. I'm not sure if they take like the second grade test or they take the fourth grade test where all of his general ed classmates are at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So again, like, I'm not a special ed teacher, but if that fourth grade child is taking a fourth grade standardized test, I mean, it'll be very, very hard for that child to do well because there's going to be a lot of, what's the word? There's going to be a lot of accommodations that, other children will be getting, but then this child will be getting. So it's very, very hard to classify all these children under one umbrella, basically. Yeah. So again, depends on the kids, depends on the teacher, depends on parents at home helping their child, kind of progress more and more. I mean, it has a lot of factors involved with it. And that's coming from 16 years worth of experience too, and teaching multiple grade levels. So
could also be bad teachers.
That could be too. But again, I mean, you're going to have all bad teachers up there. If that's the case, then like, what's going on?
I mean, when I was in high school, half the teachers we had were teachers that my parents had. So, let's see, get rid of tenure.
Oh, here we go.
Well, we can move on to a topic we've discussed before at Catherine E. Doyle, which has been a reignited hot topic of which I had nothing to do with. Shout out Mrs. Smiley DiPapolo because she made another big post about the school drop-off at Doyle.
I don't think I read it.
It's basically kind of just reinforcing a lot of things that we said.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, again, I don't think... So this is one thing I think we should do would kind of help that. Like for the drop-off to the main office... Mm-hmm. They have like the fence out there.
Yes.
And there's a lot of parents who hold their kids' hand and walk them up to the door of the school. Mm-hmm. I don't think parents should be allowed past the fence. There's a cop there. There's Mr. Lang or whomever, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Once they're in the fence, get moving.
That's what we do at my school.
You don't need to hand walk your child into school.
At my school, once 8:40, happens, we open the gate. They come in, parents are not allowed past the gate, and someone is there.
Yeah, and
that's it.
Like the kindergartners don't even go in that entrance.
No.
So it's first grade.
I think it's
just first grade.
I think it's just first grade because Brianna told me next year it's around the back.
Right.
Yeah, which is apparently easier.
That's another thing. Like by first grade, your child should be able to unlock themselves from the car seat and get out the door.
Absolutely.
I know Daniel's like big and strong or whatever, but
John can do it too. He's pre-K4.
Yeah. You do not need to get out of the car, open the kid's door, and walk them into school. don't do it.
Or if they choose to do that, don't do drop off.
Yeah.
Park and walk. That's it. Park and walk. Very easy.
It's really crazy. And like,
do you know how many times I've seen people letting out their child on the street side? Like where the cars drive by, not even on the sidewalk side? That's just ridiculous. I mean,
let them out there. Just don't hand walk them into school.
No, I know, but then, and yeah, the only time it actually works smoothly is when there's a cop there. Yeah. But have the cop there every single day. If
they did some, like on Instagram and TikTok stuff, you see all these people, like they call themselves auditors, and like they film things in public, specifically hoping that the cops are going to bust their chops and tell them to leave off public when they have the right to be there.
Yeah.
So they can like record that interaction.
Okay.
Someone should just go to Doyle in the morning, stand on the sidewalk, and record it. Parents would complain, but they really have nothing to do because you're standing on the public sidewalk. It's not school property. Yeah. I can record whatever I want.
Pretty much, yeah. You're right.
But then we can start calling people out.
Yeah. I'm telling you. It and it's really fun. It's getting to the point where it's like comical because like I go the same time every day whenever I have to drop off Danny. And Danny is like, Mom, these people are idiots. Like, I'm like, Danny, we don't say that word, but yeah, you're right. And he's like, oh, Mommy, I'm so proud you didn't curse this morning. I'm like, well, not yet. Oh, wait till I drop you off. And then John says, Mommy, don't curse. I'm like, yeah, well, because then you have the one line going, and again, I know we talked about this, but like the one line going where the first grade gets off, and then you have the other line going where they're cutting you off to go into the kindergarten line. It should be one line. It should be a closed street. The whole thing should be a closed street, only the opening going to the drop off. That's it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because then if you want to go to the other side, you can go along go along the other street and go up the hill and go down the hill.
Yeah. I don't know about if it has to be a closed street, but
then you have parents on the other side laying their kids out when there's still people walking. And who's going to get in trouble? The person behind the wheel.
Oh,
if God forbid that, you know what I mean?
I don't want any kids to get hit, but
exactly.
I don't really care about that. Them letting their kids out in a dangerous situation is not my problem.
I know, but then if you hit the kid, then it's still going to be a bad situation.
I get it, but I just want the people to get out of the way.
Yeah.
And if it was like, it would make things longer if it was one drop off for kindergarten and first grade. I
just don't think there should be a drop off for kindergarten. If these parents are going to be doing that, because no matter like what we say, they're going to still get out of their car until the cop is there knocking on their window telling them to move. There should be no drop off for kindergarten.
So how would they?
They need to walk their kid up. If they're going to sit there and watch them go in, then just make it a clean no drop off for kindergarten, first through third or fourth, whatever for his next year. Those are only drop offs. That's it. You have to be strict with these parents too.
Yeah.
And if you're caught, you get a ticket.
They would park though. Like,
find a spot. Get there early enough. Find a spot. Half of them are up there anyway, waiting for their kid to go into school. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it would make it a lot smoother.
I don't get it.
That's just my opinion, and I've seen again. Like I see a lot of drop offs at my at Washington school, at my school now. It is run very, very smoothly. But the thing is, you have to have someone out there that is tough and going to tell people to move. You know what I mean? Like at the other school I was at, our custodian Angelo, he was out there every morning. If people stood too long, he told them to move, and he would start yelling. You need someone like out there being tough with people because they're not going to respond if you're all nice. Yeah. When the cop is there, it's good. He yells at people like when people get out of the car and open the door and everything. He's like, no, you gotta go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And of course, you have these people giving attitude or whatever, but rolling their eyes or whatever. But again, you have to be tough. Or a notice has to go home from the school saying, these are the rules. You don't abide by them. That's it. You're banned.
Kicked out of school.
No, I'm serious. And there's actually other schools that have they put like a paper in like their car window or something saying drop off okay. And if you don't have that paper, that like pass, I guess you could say, they can't do the drop off. Keep driving. Again, that's only my opinion.
You can start ticketing them.
Well, that too. But how are you going to justify the ticket? As like a moving violation? Or do you know what I mean? Like how you justify a ticket for that type of situation?
Standing in a no standing zone.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Wow.
But something has to be done because again, like even like next year, like I don't know, when we drop off Danny and Johnny at the same time, like I know they're gonna jump out real fast, no problem, you know.
Absolutely.
I mean, just pain. It's really annoying when like you're doing the right thing and you have these other people just kind of like, you know, schlepping along. It's really annoying. And I get very, 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 very angry in the morning on my way to drop off John.
I bet you do. You have anger problems though, Kelly.
I do have anger problems, but I'm okay.
That's okay.
I'm working through them.
Other Woodridge news. So apparently the Empanada shop is closed.
I never went there to eat to get an empanada. Have you?
Yeah.
You have gone a couple times.
Empanadas from there before. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's like it's just the thing. Like, how often are you eating empanadas? Especially now that I'm kind of like trying to lose weight and eat better and stuff like that.
I know.
And I think they're baked and not fried, but honestly, the fried ones are better.
So much better.
But like, how many empanadas are you really eating all the time?
And that's not really like an everyday thing. Like as you said, like maybe a weekend. I mean, for us anyway, maybe a weekend little treat. But even still, like, no.
And empanadas are like, it's like half appetizer, half.
It's like a crust with meat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Also, people were talking online about Fujian, the Chinese food place. Recently, that they've been calling and they're not answering, and they're open and closed at weird times. So, Fujian apparently might be going down the drain as well. Actually, we've been ordering from Dumpling in Hasbrouck Heights. It's honestly really yummy.
Yeah,
they're closed on Mondays.
I know. Yeah, we're due.
I really like Dumpling. They have really good food. The service is good. They have
it's yummy.
Everything's
I like it.
nice and packaged well.
Yeah.
Marco actually said that he still orders from Chef Chan's. I didn't even know Chef Chan's was still open. I thought they closed after COVID.
Yeah, we did order from Chef Chan's a couple, right?
We used to order from Chef Chan's all the time. That's the place you had to go pick up and pay cash only.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
But I thought they didn't make it past COVID. I guess they're still open. But the last time I was there, they had like all their chicken like just sitting out, not refrigerated, and I was like, oh
no.
And pretty much ever since then, I couldn't go back. I don't know, but we do like Dumpling for Chinese food.
It's really yummy.
Pretty much the other like Rice Shop we used to go to. I don't really order from there no more. Chef Chan's, I don't really order from there anymore. King Chef used to be down by the Stop and Shop. That's been gone forever. That was good.
Oh yeah.
But now we're Dumpling people. Alrighty. Let's see. Do I have anything else here? I do not. So Kelly, what do you got?
Okay, so move this for a second. Okay, so April 24th, that is going to be in a couple days, so this will be aired by then. It's Bring Your Child to Work Day.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I cannot bring any of my children to work because I am on spring break. So,
nice.
Dan, you gotta go to school. Sorry, kid. April 25th is Wear Blue for Autism Awareness at school. Also, the high school music assembly is going on from 10 to 10:45 a.m. And the second grade spring social is from 7 to 8:30 p.m. that night.
What is that?
Yes. I'm not 100% sure. I know they're separating like the dances this year. Like last year was the pirate and princess dance for grades K through 3. And it was just way too many kids. There was a lot of kids going on. So they're actually separating it. So I know this is happening for the second grade. And I know in May for the first grade, they're doing the pirate and princess dance. So again, like all the kids. So last year it was just a bunch of kids running around, and however, you try to organize it, it was just a lot of kids, you know what I mean? And pickup was ridiculous. So I really do think the PTA is good for separating it. A little more control, a little bit more organization, which is good. April 28th is the Board of Ed meeting from 7 to 8. And this time of year is when things kind of like really happen for like next year. So it should be interesting to see. Hopefully the school calendar for next year will come up to see. Hopefully our spring breaks will be on the same week next year.
You gonna start going to the Woodridge Board of Ed meetings and making a ruckus like you do in Lyndhurst?
I might. I have to go to the Lyndhurst one this year because I want to make sure my transfer is good. My name is going to be on there, so I need to make sure. What?
That doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, well,
you had to go to the last one and then nothing was
the last
addressed.
one was crazy because they were giving out all awards that day, and I was like, I'm just leaving. So
how is you being there going
to
affect?
It's really not going to affect. I just like to get, I don't know. I just like to kind of be nosy.
Can't you like live stream it or something?
I could, but we'll see if we're busy that night. Alrighty. A couple other things that, I just kind of like popped up into my head was family fun and bonding over the summer. Because again, I don't want to keep on talking about like how to keep your kids from regressing from grade to grade. I mean, it gets kind of boring after a while. Like, you have to have them reading, writing, going over some math and stuff like that. And I know Doyle does send home packets for the kids, just kind of like work over the summer. But again, like how you can't do that the entire summer. Let's be real here. Mm-hmm. They said I looked up the things that would be like interesting for families to do together. Making a summer bucket list, which is kind of cool to think about. I know that we were talking about we're going to Six Flags a lot this summer. Yeah. We're going to venture into New York State with it's falling off of me. With the Great Escape over there and staying at the Great Escape Lodge with like an indoor water park. So I mean, like that should be fun. We're not really beach people because we just burn. Yeah, I mean a big accomplishment of mine was when we went to Disney last year and not one of the 3 boys got sunburned.
Your mother did.
I know she did, but all my boys I was responsible for did not get one speck of sunburn. That's right. Which I was very proud of myself for. Just a couple of things again, like like the family bucket list. Making homemade popsicles could be fun for the kids. Starting a family garden would be nice because I know that it's just good to kind of do those things together, see things grow, and things like that. Visit museums. I know we want to take the boys to the Natural History Museum in New York, and this year I think it would actually be good. Yeah. The boys are old enough. They listed very, very well. And I think it would just be really great for them to see, some of those like, exhibits and everything, especially the Smithsonian where they can go into that and that would be like crazy over there, As I said before, visit amusement parks and, some zoos. Turtleback Zoo is a nice zoo, but it is a little bit small. So we'll say Bronx Zoo is humongous, but it's a pain to get there. Oh, I went there when I was working at St. Mary's. We took the pre-K 4 children there on a bus to the Bronx Zoo. That was my first year teaching. That was interesting. Very interesting. Also an outdoor movie. I've been wanting to do this for the past couple of years, Like
here or like a drive-through?
Well, that was another thing that they were talking about too, a drive-in movie or something. But again, like that's great and everything, but for the kids to really sit in the back of a car and trying to look out,
I don't even know how that would work if you're in the back seat. Like,
that's
do you
the
even
thing.
See the movie?
Well, not really. I mean, that's why I don't really think that'd be better. If it was like just kind of like a date night thing, I think that'd be like really cute to do. But for a family, I mean, I know our boys, they're not gonna be able to see. They're gonna be on our laps the whole time watching, and they'll get our cars completely destroyed. So we're not doing that. No. We're not doing that at all. But I really feel like a backyard movie would be, would be cute. Put a nice little sheet up, get one of those projectors, and it's not even expensive.
No, they're not.
It would just be nice to do one night. I did research some book series that were great for kids. I looked things up through grades kindergarten through grade 5. So ages 5 to 6. Do you hear screaming or crying?
Crying or laughing?
I don't know. Hold on.
We'll find out.
5, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1.
God.
Anyway, so ages 5 to 6, Elephant and Piggy are really great book series. The illustrations are, very expressive and it has a lot of humor in there. The Bluey books, which can correlate great to actually the Bluey TV shows. Tonight I'm actually making the boys Easter baskets. I know this is going to be going on after Easter, but I'm putting together Easter baskets for the boys tonight. And the boys love Bluey still. Even Danny, he still loves Bluey, and John just loves it because they have like really great storylines.
No, Bluey's good.
It's really good.
Bluey's good.
Frog and Toad adventures, friendships and stuff, which is great for the kids that age to kind of do like a text to self type of situation where if there's something's happening in school or with like a friend, they can kind of like relate those experiences to themselves and figure out how to kind of like handle it, with parental, guidance. And again, all those books are great for bedtime, like read alouds at, like before bed. We have to start doing that again.
Yeah.
Ages 6 to 7, Elephant and Piggy again, Frog and Toad. Dog Man is something that the kids in my class have really loved. It's funny. Magic Treehouse, Danny loves.
Really?
He loves it. Well, these are actually series too. So it's kind of like the Boxcar Children. Remember that?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
series one, like For Us or whatever, and Babysitters Club. No, but they really have really good storylines, character development. And these books, the children can relate to themselves, which is really great for their for their comparison when it comes to different books and themselves. Junie B. Jones is a good one. Amelia Bedelia is a good one. Now going on to second grade. Again, Magic Treehouse is great. The Dragon Masters, Ready Freddy, the kids in my class love. They just love it. It's relatable school adventures.
Is that like Fancy Nancy?
Kinda.
Huh.
Yeah. Third grade, again, Magic Treehouse is really in all of these because it goes up in levels, Wayside School series, Geronimo Stilton is a good series to do. Now we're going to fourth grade, and I've never taught fourth grade. I almost did, but I never really taught fourth grade. So I know the Penderwicks, Wings of Fire, the books of Elsewhere, Big Nate, and then fifth grade you go into the whole Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Anne of Green Gables, the City of Ember, and the one and only Ivan. So again, like all these stories are series, which I understand, and it's good to have a series book because like when you're reading in in the summertime, it's good to not just have picture books for these children. They have to see progression, they have to see character development and advancement, and it's just something for them to maybe do an hour a day, and it'll get them prepared for next year, just like focusing on
that
stuff.
Nick A30 streamer book that I had bought. I thought that was way more kiddie than it was.
Well, I mean, listen, like it's a different type of book, but Danny can read all those words.
Yeah.
It's just he just needs to take time and actually understand what is being talked about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which would probably be a long haul.
But even with something like that, I mean, I wouldn't give it to him by himself to read. It's not that it wouldn't be appropriate, but like that would be a good read for the two of you guys to do together. So if he has a question, he can ask you, you can talk about it. Where that's like really where a lot of the big skills kind of sink in. So that's really all my info for today. I think I had enough of that today.
You did good.
Alrighty.
You have anything else you want to touch on?
Not really. I think we kind of did a lot today, actually.
I agree. So
I have spring break this week again, so I'm happy.
Nice.
So that means Big Daddy over here doesn't have to do drop over pickup either. So another week of like last week and this week. Nice. So you're good. You're welcome.
Well, good. All right, Kelly. Well, I love you.
I love you too.
And we love you too.
Have a great night.
Peace.